Hey guys, Lisa over at ZNM. Today is month one, a little over month one with the car. I just hit 1,200 miles with the car today. I'm going to do a quick 1 month recap as well as an in-depth video of the iDrive8. First things first, I just hit 1,200 miles with the car, but I haven't gone in for the break-in period, break-in service yet. We'll be going in for that hopefully within the next week or so. Few things wanted to go over. There's a few features that I really do like, such as the walk up / walk away feature where the car unlocks and locks when you walk up and away from it. As well as I really do like the car a lot more than the initial video that I made. Not that I hated the car, but I do like it a lot more. The suspension and steering I've gotten a lot more used to. But yeah, let's get into the iDrive8. Alright, so now we're in the car. As you can see, this is the new iDrive8 system. Let's start on the left-hand side. As you can see, you have the gas gauge as well as the oil temp gauge. Then you also have the speedometer and tachometer. Then now going to the right-hand side is the whole iDrive8 system where a lot of stuff is new. This took me a few minutes to actually get used to. So we'll go through that now. So as you can see, we have the navigation that's up right now. I usually just kind of leave it on there. But you also have the features of music, your phone, navigation, and then also CarPlay. And then if you go to the right a little bit, you can change some setup info, as well as it goes over to the radio, your phone settings, your personal assistant, which I haven't set up yet, the tire pressure sensor, engine info, weather, traffic conditions, my BMW. There's a whole bunch of options in here, and you could also customize this as well. I haven't really customized it, I just kind of left it as is. Obviously the date and the time. And then if we go back over, I'm going to go through each one of these options so you guys can see everything. So we're first going into the main menu. So basically, with the new iDrive8 system, each individual that has a key can set up their ID through their phone, and then their ID basically saves the seat and all of the settings to the ID. So if you go here, you could obviously see that my ID is already in the car. And then you could also adjust the settings in it as well. You can put your own picture, stuff like that. If we go back, obviously you set up your mobile device per person in the car. And then personal assistant, like I said, I haven't set this up yet. You can do it to set commands, so many different things that you could do. I haven't set it up yet. I do need to set it up. I just haven't gotten to it. If we go back, I don't have an Android, so I haven't messed with this one yet. But I do put my car in CarPlay. So basically, as every other iDrive8, you have CarPlay in the car. Then you have radio, XM radio, your presets. Cool thing is you could also listen to Spotify in the car, which I don't like Spotify. I like Pandora better. Don't come for me. Then phone settings. So basically, it brings you back to the CarPlay settings. And then if we go back, navigation, which you guys saw already. Weather as well. So it shows you all the weather for the next couple of days. Shows you where you are, stuff like that. If you want to listen to podcasts with the news, you can. I don't, so don't come for me for that either. As well as live vehicles. So this is a really cool feature now. So it also shows you all the statuses of content, like your tire pressure, engine oil, like if you have to check any of the things such as like washer fluid, stuff like that, and any requirements. So like I said, I already hit 1,200 miles, so I'm not sure why this hasn't updated yet, but it should reach 1,200 miles hopefully within the next drive cycle, and then it'll say I have to go for service. So if we go back here, system settings like any other car, date, language, stuff like that. Interior lighting is really cool because they did come out with a couple new colors compared to the iDrive 7. There are a bunch of different colors that I like. I'm one of those people that just likes the interior lighting to match the interior of my car. So right now I just have it on coral because it is the closest thing to red. But as you can see, there's ivory, citrine, coral, flamingo, pearl, turquoise, emerald, rose, azure. Really nice colors, but like I said, I'm one that likes my interior lighting to match my interior color. You can set the brightness for it, you can reduce it for nighttime driving, and then dynamic lighting as well. As well as every other vehicle, there is BMW Assistant, so if you have like a flat tire and stuff like that, you would just hit that. It does have an owner's manual, so if you need to search for something, it's really cool because you could put in a keyword or go to topics. Instead of looking through the actual manual, you could just go through the car. AM radio like FM radio. If you do have Amazon Alexa, it also allows you to pair it with this as well. I do not, so I just don't use it. You could do habits with the vehicle, which I haven't set up either. Messages that come directly from BMW. It'll show you calendar notifications within CarPlay. Google Maps, which I use a lot of Google Maps when I'm driving around, which also happens within CarPlay. I don't use Maps, I use Google Maps like I just said. It does pop up in CarPlay, my text messages, and it reads it back to me, and as well as I can send out messages. Music in CarPlay, so I can play Apple Music, which I do a lot. I don't really read the news in the car, so it's one of those features that already come with it. Like I said, I do like Pandora compared to Spotify. Not sure why Panera is up on here, but that's funny. These are pretty much a lot of the apps that I have on my phone that are applicable to iDrive8. So Park Mobile, my phone, Ring Central for work. So then there's also this application which is really cool, which is a traffic camera. So it'll allow you to warn you with services like warn you with traffic, which is really cool. Haven't really noticed it much in the car while driving, but it is pretty cool. It allows you also in iDrive8 to, as well as iDrive7, to see when there's uneven surfaces within the road. So if you're going to cross over a railroad or there's road work going on, it'll let you know on your screen as well as in heads-up display. WhatsApp is also part of the application in here. The Wi-Fi connection. I haven't set this up either, but obviously my phone shows that it's part of the connection. Shows you a service center, so if you click whichever service center you want, for instance, mine would be Park Ave BMW, it would show you how to get there, any more information, stuff like that. So with the 1200-mile break-in service, I will be going to Park Ave for that. If you need to call for roadside assistance or search for a different service center. So another feature with the iDrive8 setting is, as you can see down here, there's no more buttons. So with radio and stuff like that, as well as climate control, there is no buttons here besides skipping songs or if you need to put on the front or rear defroster. So now all the settings are actually within the iDrive8. So if we come back up, you can see the climate control. Kind of has its pros and cons. So everything is going to be touchscreen now. So the heated seats are touchscreen. The fan, it doesn't have like dual temp, like you can control it, but it doesn't really have like the fan settings. So like if you want it to go up on your side and then down on the passenger side, you can't do that. It's all one setting now. AC's up here, you could sync it all. You can also control settings, obviously like other the other iDrive systems. You can control if you want it hotter or colder, and then it also helps with the like the fan and stuff like that, or if you want to do pre-ventilation too. So if you're departing for a trip and you decide to start it, you could also do that in the application of the BMW app as well. We come back out. The displays, so it has heads-up display, the instrument cluster, and the control display. So basically with all M3 now, all M3s now, it comes as a standard feature to have heads-up display, which I do have it, but since the car's not on, you can't really see it up right now. But you can control the height, the rotation, brightness, etc. Same thing with the iDrive8 system. You can control, like, if you want to convert the speed, if you want the gear shift indicator, so it'll tell you like when it's time to shift up or down. There's other, the M mode, it also allows you to do that, which I'll show you that next. If you want to manually have on your cluster, if you wanted to show you like the speed on the road, like if you're 40 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, it'll show you that as well. You can turn that off or on. If we come back out, just the brightness of the control screen. So like I mentioned previously, one of the cool features that I like with the car is that you can control when you're walking towards the car or walking away from the car. It'll either unlock or lock the car. I really like that. It's really helped a lot because sometimes it's annoying having to pull out your key or finding your key, but there is also comfort access in the car. So it'll unlock or lock. It'll also do the comfort access like I just said. Like I mentioned, it has the unlock when approaching or lock when walking away. Your vehicle key, and then I have it off for right now, but it'll do automatic windows, so it'll automatically lower or raise the windows, as well as when you're coming close or walking away if you have them up or, open or closed. Here we have drive settings, which basically it'll tell you if you're departing from the lane, you can have it on. I have it off because I find the feature very annoying. So I have that off for right now. You could set that up as well. Exterior lighting. So obviously the daytime lights are on, rear daytime lights are on. I do have the feature where instead of clicking the stalk down to turn on the signal, I just tap it once and it turns it on for 3 times of the directional. It shows you welcome and goodbye when you turn off the vehicle as well as turn on the vehicle. And then the pathway light, which is activated as well. And then vehicle status, like every other vehicle, it shows you, like I showed before, temperature, tire pressure monitor, engine oil control, check controls, and then services. So I'm gonna actually go into music now, but I already had showed you guys this. This is actually just FM radio. You can control here if you want to go to different, like your presets, your Sirius, your FM, your Apple CarPlay, podcasts. You obviously can control your mobile devices and the radio settings. So I am one of those people that do like loud music. So I control my sound, have it up to my liking, obviously. But I only like music loud when I'm in the car by myself. If we go back, this is the phone settings, which will also do the same thing as CarPlay, which I'll show you next. And then if we go into navigation, this is the car's navigation. I've only used it once. I haven't really used it much. Like I said, I do like Google Maps a lot more. So it's actually pretty spot on, I would say. I have had the iDrive8 before in my G80 540. It was really bad in that car. I guess they did some sort of update on the software or whatever it must be, but the navigation on this car is actually a lot better than all the other cars that I've driven before. Really, like I said, I haven't really gone into much of the navigation in this car besides using Google Maps and CarPlay, but we'll just leave it at that. And then obviously CarPlay. So CarPlay, like every other car, brings up all the stuff like every other CarPlay works. You can see your favorites, your recent phone calls, your contacts, your keypad, your voicemail, and then if we go down here, obviously it has a pre-selected menu. Like I said, I use Google Maps a lot. Pandora, I do listen Pandora a lot, and then your phone setting. So it just lists mostly the 3 most common things that you use all the time. But as you can see, you have phone, music, Apple Maps, your messages, music, BMWM, I haven't gone into that yet, news, calendar, settings, just did something on the screen and I'm not sure what it did.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, don't know what it did there, but it allows you to go into settings, Google Maps, Pandora, Panera, Ring Central, WhatsApp, and I'm pretty sure that is about it in iDrive. Yep. And then it just shows you my Google Maps, and then if you want to go to a specific destination, it allows you to, as well as music. So if we go back here, I'm going to actually turn on the car now to show you a few more features that I do like about the car, so just bear with me. Okay, so the car's on now. As you can see, everything on the driver's side. is now lit. So I do also have the setting where you can put on automatic high beam, which is really nice. So when you're driving at night and it doesn't detect another headlight in the area, it will turn the automatic headlight on, which is really nice. As you can see, my car is currently with the e-brake on. It also shows you, which is another cool feature, that once someone buckles their seat, so if I do my seatbelt right now, it'll show in green, as it's right now it's all in red. That means no one's buckled in. So once I buckle myself in, it turns green. So it'll show you how many passengers at a time are buckled in the vehicle, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to unbuckle myself, and it also shows it up on the screen here too. So one of the cool features is, so if you go into M1, if I press M1, you can also do it on this screen over here, the main iDrive screen, and you can go over to your setup. So right now I have it on. Engine is Sport Plus, which you can hear, it's a little throatier. The gear shift assistant is on. Chassis is on Sport, steering is on Sport, brakes on Comfort. So you can also mess with these while you're not in M1, but I usually like to drive in M1. One of the other cool things is you can also configure them. So like I said, you could change all the settings, and then it'll be automatically saved every time you hit M1. Same thing with M2. The only thing with M2 is it turns traction off. I do not like, sorry, let me go back. I do not like driving without traction, so I do not go into M2 mode. Eventually I will, but just not right now. So if I go back here, so currently, like I said, I'm on M1. And then if we also hit this button down here, it's M mode. So I hit that, and then this screen pops up. And it allows you to hit road or sport. So right now I'm in road, so I'm going to hit sport. So it changes the cluster here. So it's in a sportier display. But then if we also go back into this setting, where it says live vehicle, it'll bring up these different dials. So it'll bring up the torque, the horsepower, the PSI, as well as the oil temp, which I think is really cool. This also will show you if you're also in M2 mode, but like I said, I don't really go into M2 mode very often. I don't really enjoy driving without traction, especially in the colder weather. Everything else is pretty much the same. The steering has pretty much the same options on it. So you have your cruise control settings, and then you have your music, your phone. This button right here, it'll allow you to change the settings of the screen. So currently it's on content. You can put trip data. You could put the navigation on your screen. You could have the same content that I showed you before, all the settings from there on your screen. It'll show you the engine, so PSI, and how hot the temperature is of the oil. PSI of the tires. The sports display, so it'll show you the same thing that's over here, which is -2 features, so it'll show you for pounds and horsepower. And then the G meter, which is really cool. This is something new. And then it'll show you your radio if you want your radio. And I think that's about it. And then you could also change what's on your heads-up display, which I don't know if you can see that in the video, which you probably can't. You can change what's on heads-up display. So right now I have standard view, reduce view. So I just leave it up on standard view. Like before, if you just scroll down with this feature here, it'll show you your radio, and you can also control if you want to put your presets up, your the XM radio, FM radio, your CarPlay, or podcast. So that's a lot easier as well. And then you can also control if you want the M sound off or on. I just leave it. I don't really mess with that. And then there was one other thing, but let me see if I can find it. You can also section out on this display here. Instead of viewing all applications, like I just went through all these applications, you can also go here to vehicle application, so it'll show you a shorter menu instead of having to scroll through all that. So it'll just show you the menu compressed into all the vehicle apps that you would need. So BMW ID, mobile devices, personal assistance, live vehicle, system settings, interior lighting, owner manual, climate control, displays, doors and windows, drive settings, etc. Another thing is, like I mentioned before, so this screen is all touch. You can also pull down on the screen. It'll show you some of the same settings. You can put your phone on Do Not Disturb. You could hide private notifications or information. You could turn off the screen, which I rarely ever do. You would just touch it to bring it back to life. You can set up shortcuts, which again I haven't done. And then you can also scroll through, like I mentioned before in the first part of the video. Like I said, I haven't really gone through a lot of these. I really would like to set up the personal assistant because I've heard it's really cool. You can pretty much get it to say hello to you as soon as you walk into the car. Some other cool features, like if you want to call someone or if you want to send a message to someone. It's a really cool feature. And yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I really do like the iDrive8 compared to the iDrive7. I've had the iDrive7 before. There were a lot of things that were kind of, I guess you would say, laggy on it, but so far I haven't had any issues with the iDrive8. Surprisingly enough, I do like the car. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Alright, thanks for watching my video. That commences the video for today. Stay tuned for my next video. Leave comments in the comments below. And time for me to go.